Welcome to this cloud coaching session on modernizing your on-premise Oracle Informatica Powercenter solution to Oracle Cloud. My name is Wilbert, Analytical Data Platform Lakehouse Specialist within Oracle. Let's get started. Today on the agenda, we will look into Oracle Informatica Powercenter solutions running on-premise. So first we'll look into how often those solutions on-premise look like. Next, we're going to look into the target solutions on Oracle Cloud. And then we will dive into the migration steps. We have a look at the architecture and from there some demos on the technical steps to be done and how that integration looks like from an Informatica IDMC point of view. So first have a look at the current on-premise situation. The on-premise solution often looks like following. We will have one or many or multiple data sources which are being integrated through Informatica Powercenter for loading and transforming that data into an Oracle Data Warehouse database. So we have an Oracle Data Warehouse database which is open for the BI and the analytical solution. So we also often have an Oracle BI or OBIEE solution, OBIEE to work with the data as an analytical and reporting solution. Okay, and how then do we see the new target OCI cloud solution? In the target we have the data sources. They can remain in the current place. They can also, of course, be migrated to Oracle OCI if possible, but yeah, that's not part of this session. We will look in the solution for the ETL will be the Informatica IDMC, which is available from OCI Marketplace. To store the data, we will use the Autonomous Data Warehouse database. We will see it's easy to deploy with low maintenance and some other advantages we will touch on later. And the Oracle Analytical Cloud has the cloud native analytical platform within Oracle. So those are the four components that we're going to use to migrate your on-premise Informatica Oracle database and OBIEE environment into Oracle OCI. So some key benefits from the new solution will be from the autonomous database. It's a modern cloud-native data management platform, minimal maintenance or no maintenance. It's highly secure, self-tuning, self-healing, and also very important, it's a high-performance database and very flexible in scaling to your needs. For the ETL, we will work with the Informatica IDMC solution, which has for the migration there is the Informatica Migration Factory available. There's also another intermediate way of migrating your Powercenter content to IDMC, that is using the cloud data integration for Powercenter service. And the advantage of moving to IDMC, you also can take advantage of other parts of the portfolio like data quality, data catalog, and data governance and data marketplace within IDMC. We will briefly touch on the migration effort. Using the migration options will reduce the migration duration significantly. For the analytics and reporting, the latest modern Oracle Analytics Cloud platform will be used. It has enhancements and many more capabilities than the on-premise OBIEE solution was having, and it will still leverage the existing semantic model and existing presentation catalog. Also important to mention is that it will work very well together with the Autonomous Data Warehouse, and combined you can use artificial intelligence and machine learning to work with your data in your existing data warehouse. Low on maintenance, as it's a PaaS service, and it's easy, it's very user-friendly to use. As mentioned earlier, the data sources can remain in their current place, or if possible, they can be also migrated to Oracle Cloud, but that is not, let's say, a fixed requirement. So, high-level migration path. So, we have seen that in the on-premise situation, we often have our data sources, the Informatica Powercenter, the Oracle database, and Oracle BI, OBIEE. And we have pictured already for the cloud part. Again, the data sources can remain untouched. We will leverage Informatica IDMC, and for the database we're going to use the Autonomous Data Warehouse because of its great advantages on no maintenance and a lot of autonomous capabilities. The Oracle Analytics Cloud platform is the logical step to move from OBIEE to OAC. So, on those migrations, for the migration of OBIEE to Oracle Analytics Cloud, product development has created a migration tool that will collect, let's say, the data of the content from your OBIEE, like your repository, like your web catalog, and some other parts, and package that to be used within Oracle Analytics Cloud. For the migration of the Oracle database to the Autonomous Data Warehouse, various migrations options are available and are documented. For the Informatica Powercenter to IDMC migration, Informatica has created a migration tool or migration solution called Migration Factory to refactor your Informatica Powercenter assets into the new Informatica IDMC solution. And as mentioned, the data sources can remain untouched. Connection will have to be made to them from OCI, but yeah, it's also an option to look into the possibility to migrate such data sources also, but that is not part of this session. So the migration areas for migration of OAC from OBIEE to OAC, as mentioned, migration tools are available from management. They will ensure an efficient migration of OBIEE content into OAC. Be aware that there is a minimum version from OBIEE that is required. For the Oracle database migration to ADW, the Autonomous Data Warehouse, we have various options there, like the Oracle Database Migration Service, or Oracle Golden Gate, Zero Downtime Migration, Oracle Data Pump, and Oracle SQL Loader. Depending on your situation, one of the migration options might be best suited. We're not diving into the details of which migration option will be best. Other sessions are specifically created for migrating to an autonomous database. You can watch those, and but also a lot of documentation is available on that topic. For the Powercenter to IDMC migration, the migration tooling from Informatica also provides a kind of an assessment, the migration factory that helps to migrate your Powercenter assets into IDMC. It will also highlight where adjustments and corrections need to be made. A very recent possibility to migrate Powercenter to IDMC is the Cloud Data Integration for Powercenter service, which is running a kind of Powercenter within IDMC. And of course, it's always possible to do a manual conversion from Informatica Powercenter into IDMC. I think it's important that you check with Informatica or their partners to assist you with that Powercenter to IDMC migration. So next, we'll look into the high-level architecture. So first, have a look at the logical architecture, where we on the left-hand side have our data sources. They can stay as where they were. We will use the IDMC data integration part from the IDMC suite to use as the integration from sources into the autonomous data warehouse. That same data integration could also be used to load data from cloud storage, from Oracle Object storage, for instance, into the autonomous data warehouse. Also, and that's what we mentioned, the other capabilities of IDMC, like data quality, but also data governance and data catalog can be used to help you modernizing your analytical data platform with IDMC. And last but not least, to make use of the data, the Oracle Analytics cloud platform will be, let's say, used as the serving platform for the users, but also could be, let's say, as a starting point for other applications or devices. From a deployment point of view, the picture will look like this, where we have the autonomous database that could be, say, running in the Oracle Service Network, but that can also run within a subnet that will be connected to a virtual machine. That virtual machine is hosting the IDMC secure agent. And the IDMC secure agent is the engine that will do the heavy lifting of the data. That is connected to the Informatica control plane. That Informatica control plane is to manage your loads and to design your loads. The actual heavy lifting will be done in the secure agent, and as such will not be moved to the control plane. So the control plane has no access to the data itself. And as a gateway of managing your virtual machine, a Bastion service or a Bastion host is being provisioned to connect to your virtual machine on which the secure agent is running. And of course, you can have one secure agent, but you can also have multiple secure agents depending on your use case. So what are the technical steps that we have to do to get the cloud solution in place? So of course, we will have some prerequisites so that you will need access to the Informatica cloud. You need access to Oracle OCI Oracle Cloud, and you will need to have connections to your on-premise infrastructure. So an autonomous data warehouse database needs to be created. An IDMC secure agent needs to be created. That is available from OCI Marketplace, and so those two activities can be done in OCI. And within Informatica Cloud, we will have to build a connection to the autonomous data warehouse and we will have to build a connection to the secure agent which is running on OCI. The OCI provisioning, so the provisioning of the IDMC secure agent, but also the autonomous database, we can do that in I would say various ways. One of the ways of provisioning the whole stack at once is to use the Terraform scripts. There is a Terraform script available from Oracle Architecture Center, which is creating an architecture like we have shown in previous slides, and that will do all the steps to create a secure agent, to provision the autonomous database, and to provision the OAC instance, and it will also make sure that the VCN and the subnet and all those components are put in place. Another way of provisioning is to do that manually within OCI. We already have quite of those components provisioned for other purposes, for other workloads, but from that, then it's also possible to create, to provision an autonomous database manually, and to provision an IDMC secure agent manually from OCI Marketplace. Next, we will see that how to do that provisioning, and we will also have a look into the how the integrations within IDMC will work and how they will work. So we are going to look into the provisioning of the IDMC secure agent, the autonomous database, Oracle Analytics Cloud. So let's have a look on how that works. So in the Oracle Architecture Center, as I mentioned, we have deployment of an analytical platform with IDMC. That's, let's say, also where you can find the Terraform script that is already repackaged and can be used as a starting point for your deployment. This is the part of where the Informatica, where the Terraform script, the deployment can be done. It can also be activated from the Oracle Cloud itself. So if you are in Oracle OCI and you will go into developer services, you go into resource manager in stacks. That's also where you will be able to find the Informatica secure agent example Terraform. To deploy, once you click, one step back, once you click on the deploy to Oracle Cloud, it will be easy if you already are signed in. You will get following screen where you first have to accept the Oracle terms of use. Once you have done that, it will already pre-fill some of the content. You need to select the department in which you want to create your stack. Once you have done that, you can click the next button, and what you will see is that the various components or details for the various components will be asked for. First, let's say the OCI region on where you would like to deploy, which compartment you would like to deploy. So you need to have a compartment already created before you start. Oracle database, you can give it a name. You can choose whether you would like to have it in an always free. I think it's maybe not a good idea for this one to do that in always free. You need to provide a database admin password. You can select the version. It's important to estimate how much data you think you initially will want to store in your database. Later on, you can always increase that, but maybe a good, let's say, starting point is always a good thing to do. If you would like to have an auto-scaling enabled from the autonomous database, yes or no, and then you need to fill in some details on the compute size of your autonomous database. some other questions like data safe registration, operational insights, and being part of database management. And as a final step, you can specify some details for the object storage. What type of storage, what type of bucket it will be, and of course the name of the bucket. And as a final step, after also having created the bastion, some details regarding the Informatica IDMC agent, because also at least that was one of the key goals to get that provisioned. So we can select what VM shape we want to use. For now, I have kept it to the default. So DNS host label, IDMC username, and that's the username that you're also using in IDMC. The IDMC secure agent installation token. That is the token that we will see later on in IDMC that you can generate from within IDMC to be used when provisioning the secure agent. And the network configurations, if we hit advanced, and then you can specify which private side ranges you would like to use, but for now we're going to leave the default. Once done, you get an overview, and from there you can create. So now this is running and it's being created. Another way of provisioning is through manual activities. One thing that we have not done yet is to provision an Oracle Analytics cloud environment. So in the home screen on the hamburger menu, select Analytics AI, select Analytics Cloud, and from there you can create an Analytics instance. I already created one, and you have the option to do some selections there, where you would add what your capacity is, which compartment you would like to run it, and of course name, but also the type of license and the edition of the Oracle Analytics Cloud that you want to use. If once you have filled that, then it is create, and from there the instance will be created. It will take some time. Similar is what we can do with the Oracle database. We go back to the hamburger menu, Oracle database. We want to create a data warehouse, so we should immediately select Oracle Autonomous Data Warehouse. You can hit create. Now it will require, let's say, it will ask for some details again. What type you would like to use, if it was serverless again. This is basically the same question that we have seen from the terraform script. So that is it will require the same details. I already created one, so I'm not going to create a new one, but it will take a little bit of time to create. And as you can see over here, the one from the terraform script is already being provisioned. And last but not least, as a manual step, we also can create the IDMC secure agent. So we go to the hamburger menu again, scroll all the way down to the marketplace, select all applications. Of course, you can make some other queries, but let's check for sorry, that's not the right one. Back all the way back to more applications. It's already here. I need to really open here. Informatica, and here we have the Informatica Marketplace solution that you can click. Of course, there is some licensing implications or subscription implications that need to be covered with Informatica. You can select a version, only one version is available. Again, you need to select an OCI compartment to make sure that you are provisioning it in the right compartment, and from there you can launch the stack. Again, you will get similar questions as what we have seen in the Terraform script for provisioning. So after we have provisioned the autonomous database, the secure agent, Oracle Analytics Cloud, the object storage, and the infrastructure required for it, next step is to look into Informatica IDMC and to connect that to Oracle OCI. For connecting, we need to use the administrator option in the menu. And from those options, we will see the administrator screen. Two key areas. One is runtime environments, where we need to create a runtime environment and connect a secure agent to that. So I already created the runtime environment, which is not that much to do. It's a name and it's a type, and from there you can add a secure agent to it by simply selecting the secure agent showing up here and click OK. And the other activity to be done is to create your connections. I have already created my connections. I think we can create two types of connections to make use of right now. One is the autonomous database connection, and the other one is the object storage connection. When looking into the object storage connection, you need to provide the details on the autonomous database. You need to specify which runtime environment you want to connect it to, what type of database it is, what type of authentication, and then you need to provide a lot of details which are part of the wallet that you can download with your autonomous database. Once that's done, you can test and save your connection. Next is that one step back. The current slide. So now we are going to look into the integrations between Informatica IDMC and the Oracle Autonomous Database and Object Storage. So when we are going to look briefly into data quality and preparation, and we will look into data integration and touch on data catalog. It's only a very high level demo, because it's only to show that the connections are in place and that those connections work. For in-depth use of the IDMC, that is not. We're not going to cover that within this session. So first, have a look at the data profiling. So from the menu, I've clicked on data profiling. I have already prepared some of it. So from the data profiling tasks, let's have a look at the data profiling. Let's have a look at this one. So this is the profiling from a file in stored in Oracle Object storage. How did I get there? How did I do that? So let's take a new one. I say I would like to have a new data profiling. Let's call it S3. We need to specify a location. This is the folder. I would like to store it, but what connection would I like to use? I would like to use Oracle Object Storage. I need to specify, so now it's actually connecting to the Oracle Object Storage. I have a bucket. In that bucket I have a file. I select that file. I know that the limiter is a pipe sign. Click OK. Now it's populating the data. It's giving you an example of the data. And from there, cancel. I'm not sure why it is complaining now, but it's the same activity as what we've done over here. So these are the results of the data profiling, which gives an overview of what the diversity of the data is. Let's close that one. Next, we are going to look into the data catalog. And also here we will see that we first end up with the data with the dashboard. We see that we have 8 sources. Let's have a look. And what we can see from those 8 sources is that we have connection to some of the autonomous databases that we, if you have remembered well, we have seen in the connection overview, like Infa 0705, and also the IDMC Cloud ADB connection, but also object storage demo. And when we were looking into the profiling, as here you can see again, same file name, and we can see also the breakdown of the file in what content is in there. So as such, the link to the object storage is available. Let's take one step back, go back to my dashboard, and let's take and as you can see, also the database connections are available. And as a final, let's say, overview of the IDMC and how it works together with the Oracle OCI is the data integration. It's taking a little while. The data integration. Let's have an overview, various assets. Let's have a look into one of the projects. I've created already one of the projects where so as you can see, what I've done is I have taken, we look at it, I have let's have a look at the source, and from the bucket that I have that we have seen before, the same file, line items. I have selected that from the Oracle Object Storage as a single object. So I've taken that, and what I've done, I've created a load activity to an autonomous data warehouse. Let's see what that target is. So it is an autonomous database connection from Oracle. I have selected it from the available databases. I've said, okay, it needs to be a single object, object name, line item, with WPO table, and it needs to be an insert. Of course, here you can do all kinds of other things with operators, but this is, let's say, a very basic integration, which is already available, but it indicates that you can work with the Oracle Object Storage and with the Oracle database to develop your integrations. So I think that is, let's go back to my presentation. So we have had a look at the data catalog, briefly touched on the data integration, how that you can see that it works well with the Oracle OCI Object Storage autonomous database, and we have also looked into the data profiling. We have done the integration overview, and from there I would say thanks a lot for this, for attending this session. There will be, let's say, other cloud coaching sessions, some upcoming events. Those are examples that have already been done. But also there are a lot of already created sessions, also related to the creation of the database, but also related to migration options from the database. Thanks again. Some more information to be found here. I would say thank you a lot, and speak to you next time.